often you can see your early swings here, there's hardly any linear motion ahead. Look at your head. Watch, it doesn't move forward at all. You just kind of reach your leg out. Old baseball swing, and then you don't have a very good lag and snap. The hands don't go towards the ball. You're just pulling and dragging from the front side. Look at your hips are stopped during that swing. A lot of flaws in it. You went from the 60s to maybe the low 80s. Here again, look at your head doesn't move forward. There's no linear motion ahead. And then when you go to swing, it's just a matter of your knobs aiming down. You're going to have a loopy swing from the start, I can tell, because there's no linear motion to help flatten it. There's no lag. Watch your lag here. Your hands should really be getting extended, creating a lag, and you just kind of barn door swinging it around. And when you get here, look at the wrists don't snap. They don't snap at all. They don't snap and follow that same plane all the way around. So it was a swing that was fraught with a lot of flaws. You dragged over the top of a lot of balls. You didn't really get much into the 80s hardly, mostly in the 60s. Jeremy Eisenhower, a great guy to watch here. Watch his stride, much more linear. Thus, he can drive the hands towards the plane of the ball. You want to attack the hands and knob, creating a lag, and your rear hip is driving that lag. Watch his stride here. Stride, hands come back to a connected position. Rear elbow will come down, and then you'll get on a nice plane. And the hips are driving. Now the hips are driving the hands and the knob initially towards the plane of the ball, creating a lag. Just a really strong lag. Eisenhower's a small guy. Was on the long haul bomber tour. He had a lot of power. And then when he snaps it through, you drive your hands so fast with the lag that the snap is just going to happen because you're going to follow through with the top hand going past the bottom. And if you drill the perfect snap enough, you'll just get the feeling of it and you'll flow into it. But really, your main focus is going to be stride and then drive. Again, look at your swing here. There's no drive. Watch Eisenhower drive. Creates a lag and a snap. Arm extension, a lot of top arm drive off the rear hip. Rather than golfing, we want to drive it. Just a beautiful swing by Jeremy there. So we change your stance. See how the knob is down? And you had a hard time getting the knob back. Now your hands are back farther. Your lead arm's straight and the knob is flat. So when he drives around, it's on the right plane. We worked the connection drill already. See, we're getting you to stride out a little bit stronger and farther. That's a bare minimum, Anthony, what you need to do. Politicians drill. Push our butt around on a good rotation, keeping the launch angle of the body. Again, it's a bare minimum of what I'd like to see it go for distance. Bat on the hip drill. Again, we're working on lengthening out that stride and getting our hips to drive open against a strong brace leg, front brace leg, feeling the torque. Rotational trainer helps you get the hips and shoulders going together. Now that we work on the perfect snap, want to get a lot of drive and extension. Look how nice that is. You're driving, extending, you get the ball placed there so at the halfway point you're pitching, cutting through, and finishing all the way. The stubby bat, the same thing. It's important to put a ball there, and then we use an X because that helps keep our wrist from rolling over. X handle snap. One arm drill off the swing simulator because you needed to work on your top arm. Rear hip and top arm getting extended. We added them both, worked on a good snap. Again, the visualization of a ball. Trying to get you to lengthen out that stride, and look at how that nicely the hips explode off the frisbee throw. And then this ball in the hip, you're trying to get the hand path. Trying to get our hand path driven towards the ball. Ball on the rope at a down angle is a hard thing to do, but that's a nice swing. You need to really focus, a simple focus of hips driving the hands and the knob towards the ball as fast as you can and just feel yourself getting through it. So you did a perfect snap. Then I told you to do a lag, and then see, working on that lag, get it in an angle. This is a lower pitch. And then going ahead, gliding, driving, and stabbing, and just following through. That's getting down to the plane nice. A little pitch like that, there's a tendency to golf it for a lot of hitters. That's nice. You're getting the hand path down to the ball. Just need a little bit more extension. Here, this is just beautiful. Look at that. That's absolutely awesome. Again, I'd like to see a little bit more stride. But look at the hand path go down towards the ball, and then wherever your knob is when you start to swing, you'll drive it. Told you to try to hit a home run. Look at it. Created more launch angle, drove to the hands to the bottom of the ball, creating that lag, and just letting it flow through. Absolutely beautiful. You can hit home runs at will. Just an absolutely great swing. Again, you have a nice stride here using the jimmer stick to watch how your top arm doesn't extend. Your hands don't drive and snap through. So we went through and we did some one-arm drills, which made you really work on drive your hands as fast as you can, but continue to extend that top arm like you're doing a perfect snap drill. You're leaving it bent. Again, that's just a great swing. Drive the hands, hips drive the hands towards the ball. Now outside, your step is shorter. See that? And look at how your top arm is jammed. We want to get that top arm to stab, but then finish through, like right there. Have a full extension. So the first swings, again, you can see we're driving it much better. Just a ton different. But we need to get a little bit more linear motion forward. Watch our head. We want to travel forward more, and you aren't traveling forward. But look at how much better your whole focus of driving that lag is. Just a high pitch, you drove well. Again, early on here, just a beautiful lag and snap. Your hips are driving the lag. We need to let ourselves flow forward. Let your head come ahead here. See on the practice swing? Flow and then drive through. And accentuate thinking down hand path, because we want our hand path to go towards the ball. That's typically going to be lower. There's a great swing on a shoulder high pitch. A little bit of a tomahawk motion over snap. Again, getting it, stretch it out and drive and extend, especially getting that top arm extended. That was the sticking point for us. But just a nice swing. You had a lot of top spin, trying to cut through the bottom of the ball. Could be a little bit crisper with the hand path towards the ball, but vastly improved. And just your power levels at them were insane. You hit in the 90, 93 miles an hour. You hit a ball about 350, hit about 4 or 5 balls that would have carried over a 300-foot fence here at Truman Stadium. We're 307, uphill, way uphill. Look at that swing, just beautiful there. Still, though, your top arm could be extended. Watch your top arm. It's just a bare minimum of extension, so great things for you ahead. See, the top arm needs to finish off. Continue to work on it, and it was a pleasure to have you here, Anthony. You're going to make a great senior player at 47 years old and not a real big guy. Good. You see, you're gliding a lot better now. You're a little bit short armed with the top arm, like we're on the cage.
Okay.
And you kind of right up. If you can drive the hands up the hip, and then feel them get all the way through, okay?
Okay.
Like take a practice swing once, let's see that. No, a full practice swing, glide and drive. No, glide and drive all the way through. There you go. Nice. Tell the back camera what you did on that one.
A better glide, and it caused the hands to come through a lot faster with a better lag.
Look at that. Look at that. Woo! Tell the back camera you just hit that about 3
Yeah, actually, I didn't move my hands this time. I kept my hands up, and then just came straight through. It's like
into the wind. See where that ball went.
It went over the gate. Went over the gate.
Nice. Nice. Good. Let it drop down in zone and swing level. Good ball. Give off your hands, but a good ball. Good. You started down at it. You didn't quite finish through, but you got about 2/3 of the way there. That was nice. Hey, that'd been over a 300-foot fence. Oh, nice swing. Look at that.
Make sure I get better hip drive. Not necessarily bringing my front foot up, but actually gliding forward so I can get good hip drive to power the lag, and then snap follow through. Make sure I'm not driving up, driving through the ball, but my snap finishing down on it.
And we worked on a couple different things. We worked on the hip drills, we worked on the perfect snap, and then ultimately we worked on creating the lag. The other drills are important, but what was your simple focus when you got here at the live hitting?
The key for me is going to be to make sure that I get that stabbing lag, being driven by my hip. And then the follow through on the snap will just kind of, it should just happen naturally. You shouldn't have to think about it. If you drive your hip, crisp lag, and then the follow through on the snap will just happen for you. Mostly the biggest thing with me is that even though these are both, this is a 28, yeah. I mean, The DeMarini is a 28, but it feels lighter than the Hall at 27 and a half.
Yeah, the Hall's got more envelope, but both bats performed really well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if either one of these bats are in your bag, you're gonna do fine.
In the 28 and a 27 and a half end load in the Hall, 28 balance on the DeMarini. You were swinging what weight bat when you came here?
26.
Okay, so are you done being a girly man, ready to step up?
I guess I'll move up to at least a 27.
But it's one thing you can say, you know, those bats perform superb, but if you're getting better mechanics, you can handle a heavier bat, and then you get more performance than you do with a lighter model.